This may sound stupid to some of you, but I just think palm trees are so cool. It's probably because I grew up in Minnesota where I never ever saw them. The only time I ever saw palm trees was, besides TV and movies, was being on vacation, and we went to Disney World once when I was a kid. And I'm not used to seeing palm trees. So now that we live in Southern California, they're everywhere. And it's crazy to me. It's so cool. Like, I'm sure someday I'll get used to it, but I definitely have not gotten used to the fact that I can look out my window and see palm trees. That it's just crazy. You drive everywhere in the Target parking lot, there's palm trees. It just blows my mind that they're everywhere. They're so cool, and they're so different than any tree that I ever had growing up in Minnesota. This might sound really simple to some of you. That's okay. I'm pretty simple the way I think about things, and seeing these palm trees everywhere is just a reminder about how important it is to be where you're supposed to be. A palm tree could not survive in Minnesota. There's no way it would make it through the Minnesota winters. It wasn't created to live in that climate. If I brought a palm tree back with me on vacation in Minnesota and tried to plant one, it would die. If I would have brought one of my trees from our yard in Minnesota down here to California with us because I wanted a piece of home or something, it wouldn't survive. That's not where it was meant to be. So first of all, you can't live somebody else's life. You can't see somebody else doing great things and say, I want to do that too. You can't judge your calling, your purpose in life based on what somebody else is doing, because they were created differently to do different things. But also, you'll never find your full fulfillment in life if you don't go where you're supposed to go and do what you're supposed to do. And the only way to find out where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do is to talk to the person that created you and find out what he created you to do, who he created you to be. See, if God created you for a specific plan and a specific purpose, you're only gonna find that specific purpose when you follow his specific plan. If you're trying to do everything on your own, you're not gonna grow, you're not gonna truly develop into who you're supposed to be, because you're not where God wants you to be. That's why we moved to California, because for this season in our life at least, this is where we're gonna grow. We were happy, we were comfortable in Minnesota. We really did love being close to family and friends, but we weren't gonna do any more growing because that wasn't where we were supposed to be at that time. So I don't know what's gonna happen out here in California, but I do know that this is where God has us right now. And I do know that that's how we're gonna grow, and that's how we're going to fulfill God's purpose, is by following God's plan for our life, because he created us. So he knows exactly where we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to do. He created us for a specific purpose. And I think I've said this before, but the only way to find that specific purpose is to follow his specific plan.